Good morning. And before you click away from this video, I need you to pause for just a moment because what I'm about to share with you could completely change the way you think about strength, mobility, and muscle growth after the age of 75. I'm talking about a group of simple fruits, inexpensive foods that many people overlook every single day, yet researchers are now discovering they may contain some of the most powerful natural compounds ever studied for preserving and rebuilding muscle in older adults. And when you hear how one of these fruits compares to traditional protein foods like eggs in terms of how efficiently the aging body can actually use its nutrients, you're going to understand why so many experts are rethinking senior nutrition entirely. I've spent decades studying healthy aging, muscle preservation, and longevity, and throughout my career, I've worked with adults in their late 70s, 80s, and even 90s who believed weakness was simply unavoidable. I've watched people slowly lose confidence in their own bodies. I've seen grandparents stop playing with their grandchildren because getting down on the floor became too difficult. I've seen proud, independent people become afraid of stairs, afraid of grocery bags, even afraid of standing up too quickly. And I made it my mission to understand what truly helps aging muscles respond again. Today, I'm going to share 5 of the most effective fruit-based muscle-supporting foods I've ever come across. We're counting down from impressive all the way to extraordinary. And the fruit at number 1 contains compounds that researchers believe may dramatically improve how aging muscles absorb and use amino acids after physical activity. But before we begin, I want you to do something for me. Go down into the comments section and tell me your age and whether you've noticed any decline in your strength, stamina, balance, or muscle over the last few years. I read those comments personally because they help me understand what people are struggling with most right now. And when you share your story, you're helping thousands of others realize they are not alone. Now, before we get into the list, you need to understand something critically important about muscle loss after 75. Building muscle at this stage of life is biologically different than it was at 40 or even 60. There's a process called anabolic resistance. In simple terms, your muscles become less responsive to protein signals. The same amount of protein that once helped your body repair and grow muscle no longer creates the same response. At the same time, sarcopenia, which is the age-related loss of muscle tissue, accelerates significantly in later years. Many older adults lose strength gradually without even realizing it until everyday tasks become difficult. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing structures inside your muscle cells, become less efficient. Chronic inflammation begins damaging tissue continuously in the background. Digestion becomes weaker. Nutrient absorption declines. Even sleep quality can interfere with muscle recovery. That's why the foods I'm talking about today matter so much. They don't just provide nutrients. They support the exact biological systems involved in muscle preservation and repair in aging adults. So let's begin. Coming in at number 5 is guava. Now I know many people don't immediately think of guava when they think about muscle health, but this fruit is far more powerful than most people realize. In fact, guava contains one of the highest protein concentrations found naturally in fruit, along with a combination of nutrients that appear to work remarkably well for aging muscle tissue. 1 cup of guava contains roughly 4 grams of protein, which for a fruit is surprisingly high. But what makes guava truly special is the combination of amino acids, antioxidants, and vitamin C working together at the same time. Vitamin C is absolutely essential for collagen production, and collagen is critically important for maintaining the connective structures that support muscles, joints, tendons, and ligaments. After the age of 75, collagen production declines significantly. That means muscle tissue becomes more vulnerable to weakness, stiffness, and injury. Guava also contains high levels of antioxidants and plant compounds that researchers believe may support mitochondrial function. Healthy mitochondria are essential because muscles require enormous amounts of cellular energy to repair themselves after activity. Some researchers studying aging and metabolism have focused specifically on compounds in guava that appear to help support the pathways involved in energy production inside muscle cells. When those pathways function more efficiently, the body becomes better at maintaining lean tissue and physical endurance. And there's another reason guava stands out. Its fiber content helps support gut health, which becomes increasingly important with age. The gut and muscles are more connected than most people realize. A healthier gut microbiome may improve nutrient absorption and reduce inflammatory stress throughout the body. For practical use, I recommend 1 serving of fresh guava daily whenever possible. Morning is often ideal because your body is especially receptive to nutrients after overnight fasting. And if fresh guava isn't available, unsweetened guava puree or nectar can still provide some benefit. One combination I especially like is guava paired with pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds provide zinc and magnesium, minerals that play important roles in muscle contraction, protein synthesis, and recovery. I remember one woman I worked with in her late 70s who had gradually lost confidence in her balance and leg strength. She told me she stopped walking through her neighborhood because she felt unstable on uneven sidewalks. After consistently improving her nutrition, increasing her daily movement, and adding several of the foods we're discussing today, she slowly rebuilt enough strength and confidence to begin walking again every morning. And the emotional difference was just as profound as the physical one. Now, let's move to number 4, bananas. Most people think bananas are simply about potassium. And yes, potassium matters for muscle contraction and nerve signaling. But bananas contain much more than that. Researchers studying aging and inflammation have become increasingly interested in specific compounds inside bananas that may help reduce inflammatory stress in the body. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest hidden drivers of muscle breakdown after 75. And here's something fascinating. Slightly underripe bananas contain resistant starch, a type of fiber that feeds beneficial bacteria in the gut. Those bacteria then produce short-chain fatty acids that may support muscle metabolism and reduce inflammation. This is where the gut-muscle connection becomes incredibly important. As people age, gut microbiome diversity often declines. That decline can influence everything from digestion to immune function to muscle recovery. A slightly green banana every day may help nourish the bacteria involved in producing compounds that support healthier muscle signaling. Bananas are also helpful before physical activity because they provide steady carbohydrates without being overly heavy. Many older adults avoid movement because they feel fatigued too quickly. Providing muscles with accessible fuel before exercise can make a meaningful difference. I often recommend eating 1 medium banana about 30 to 45 minutes before walking, resistance exercises, chair exercises, or light strength training. And pairing a banana with almond butter creates an especially useful combination. The healthy fats and magnesium in almond butter help slow sugar absorption while supporting muscular and nervous system function. Magnesium deficiency is surprisingly common in older adults, and low magnesium levels can contribute to weakness, cramps, fatigue, and poor recovery. Now number 3, pomegranate. This is where things become truly exciting from a scientific perspective. Pomegranate contains compounds called ellagitannins, which certain gut bacteria can convert into a molecule called urolithin A. And researchers studying healthy aging have become deeply interested in urolithin A because of its potential effects on mitochondrial health. Remember those mitochondria I mentioned earlier? They are essentially the energy factories inside your muscle cells. Over time, damaged mitochondria accumulate. The body becomes less efficient at clearing them out. There's a process called mitophagy, which is basically the body's way of cleaning and recycling damaged mitochondria. As we age, that process slows down significantly. Researchers believe urolithin A may help reactivate parts of this cellular cleanup process, allowing muscles to function more efficiently again. Several studies involving older adults have shown improvements in muscle endurance and walking performance after sustained support of mitochondrial function. Now, not everyone produces urolithin A equally because it depends heavily on the health of the gut microbiome. But regular pomegranate consumption, especially alongside a high-fiber diet, may help cultivate the bacteria involved in that conversion process. One practical recommendation is half a cup of fresh pomegranate seeds daily, or a small serving of pure pomegranate juice with no added sugar. And one of the best pairings with pomegranate is extra virgin olive oil. The healthy fats in olive oil help improve the absorption of many beneficial plant compounds while also supporting cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory health. Mediterranean-style eating patterns rich in olive oil, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats consistently show some of the strongest associations with healthy aging and preserved mobility. And if you're finding this information useful so far, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because every week I share practical, research-based strategies designed specifically for older adults who want to stay strong, active, and independent. Now, let's move to number 2. Kiwi fruit. This one surprised even many researchers studying senior nutrition. Kiwi fruit contains a natural enzyme called actinidin that helps break down protein more efficiently during digestion, and this matters enormously after 75. As people age, stomach acid production and digestive enzyme production often decline. That means even when older adults consume enough protein, they may not absorb or utilize it as efficiently. Actinidin appears to help compensate for some of that digestive decline. Researchers studying kiwi fruit in older adults observed improvements in protein digestion and muscle-related outcomes compared to standard dietary approaches alone. Kiwi fruit is also packed with vitamin C, antioxidants, potassium, folate, and fiber. These nutrients support immune health, circulation, recovery, and connective tissue maintenance. And there's another fascinating aspect of kiwi fruit that many people don't know about. It appears to support serotonin pathways connected to sleep and recovery. Sleep quality is absolutely essential for muscle preservation, because many of the body's repair processes occur during deep sleep. Poor sleep is strongly associated with faster physical decline in older adults. Many people also don't realize that kiwi skin itself contains significant amounts of nutrients and fiber. If washed thoroughly, the skin can absolutely be eaten and provides additional nutritional benefits. One of my favorite recommendations is 2 whole kiwi fruits daily paired with a serving of Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt provides protein and probiotics, while kiwi fruit provides prebiotic fiber and digestive enzyme support. Together, they create a very favorable environment for nutrient absorption and muscle recovery. I remember a gentleman in his early 80s who told me he no longer felt physically capable of doing the things that once defined him. He stopped working in his garage. He stopped fishing. He stopped getting down on the floor with his grandchildren because he worried he wouldn't be able to get back up. Over time, after improving his nutrition and rebuilding strength gradually through movement and consistency, he regained enough functional strength to begin doing many of those activities again. And what struck me most wasn't the physical transformation, it was the confidence returning to his voice. Now we come to number 1, pineapple. Fresh pineapple contains one of the most fascinating natural enzyme complexes studied in relation to digestion and inflammation. That enzyme complex is called bromelain. Bromelain helps break proteins down into amino acids more efficiently. And after the age of 75, that becomes critically important because digestion itself often becomes one of the biggest barriers to muscle preservation. The issue for many older adults isn't simply consuming protein. The issue is absorbing and utilizing it effectively. Researchers studying bromelain have observed improvements in protein digestion efficiency and reductions in inflammatory markers associated with tissue stress and recovery. And inflammation matters enormously because chronic inflammation continuously interferes with muscle repair and regeneration. Pineapple also provides manganese, an important mineral involved in antioxidant defense systems inside the body. Manganese helps support enzymes that protect cells from oxidative damage, including the mitochondria inside muscle tissue. Oxidative stress increases with age and contributes significantly to muscle fatigue and cellular decline. Pineapple also contains vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, which plays a major role in energy metabolism. Low thiamine levels can contribute to weakness, poor endurance, and fatigue. And here's one of the most important details about pineapple. You need fresh, raw pineapple. Canned pineapple and heavily processed pineapple products often lose much of the active bromelain content because heat can destroy the enzyme. That's why fresh pineapple is ideal. I often recommend consuming fresh pineapple after physical activity because muscles become especially receptive to nutrients during the post-exercise recovery window. Even gentle movement counts. Chair exercises, walking, resistance bands, bodyweight movements, or light strength exercises can all stimulate muscle tissue. And one of the most effective pairings with pineapple is cottage cheese. Cottage cheese contains casein protein, which digests slowly and provides a steady release of amino acids over several hours. When combined with bromelain-rich pineapple, digestion and amino acid availability may improve significantly. One simple combination I recommend often is 1 cup of fresh pineapple with half a cup of cottage cheese after exercise or physical activity. Now, I want to say something important before we finish. Aging does not automatically mean surrendering your strength. Yes, the body changes. Yes, muscle becomes harder to maintain. But harder does not mean impossible. I have watched adults in their late 70s and 80s rebuild strength they thought was gone forever. I've seen people regain confidence, mobility, independence, and energy simply because they finally gave their bodies the right support consistently over time. The fruits we discussed today, guava, banana, pomegranate, kiwi fruit, and pineapple, are not magic cures. They are tools. They work alongside movement, resistance exercise, sleep, hydration, recovery, and proper nutrition. And perhaps most importantly, they are accessible. You don't need expensive programs. You don't need impossible routines. Sometimes the first step is simply making better choices consistently every day. If this video helped you in any way, subscribe to the channel and stay connected, because I'll continue bringing you the latest research and practical strategies for healthy aging, strength, mobility, and longevity. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these fruits are you most interested in trying first? Have you already noticed a difference in your energy, strength, recovery, or mobility when you eat foods like kiwi or pineapple regularly? Leave your thoughts in the comments below because your experience might encourage someone else to begin taking care of their health today. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.